Hi, I'm Leanne from BatLadyHerbals, and welcome to my video. Today we're at a familiar location in wonderful Orlando, Florida. We have Mead Gardens, which is a botanical garden in the heart of Orlando, just outside of downtown. And not only does this garden have all kinds of amazing hiking trails, it also has a butterfly garden, which is home to a plant I wanted to introduce to you today. And that is the purple passion flower, or as it's commonly called in the South, Maypop. Now it's this lovely flower right here. And as you can see, it's a vine. But this vine can grow about 25 foot long and can either climb using these tendrils, or it can crawl across the ground like this one is doing. Although this one's starting to climb up as well. This flower is native to the Americas, especially the southeast United States. It grows all throughout Florida, and there is a variety with white petals. This is the purple one. The interesting and unique shape of this flower inspired Christian settlers to think of the Passion of Christ, or the story of Christ, and that's why it's called passion flower. The scientific name is Passiflora incarnata. And now there's quite a few species of Passiflora in the genus that are used in gardens throughout the world. Mostly they're used for ornamental purposes. And there's a lot of them that are toxic, so you have to be careful which ones you use. Passiflora incarnata is the most widely used for medicine. Quite often it's considered the safest of the passifloras. There are a couple other native passiflora species here in Central Florida that can be used medicinally, but most of them require a little bit of treatment before you can use it, just to get out the possibly toxic compounds. This one, however, once it's dry, it's usable just the way it is. Now, the reason one of the common names is Maypop is twofold. First, they tend to bloom in May, which is the first part of Maypop. And the second is the fruit they bear, which you can see starting right here on this one. Once this is mature, it's going to be a nice big yellow fruit, and it tends to pop when it's crushed. So, Maypop. If you're watching around here, you'll see a lot of butterflies flitting about, a lot of pollinators in general, and I don't know if you saw on the vine, there's a whole bunch of ants. This plant attracts so many insects and such a wide variety of life. It's a good one to have in your garden just to attract all those pollinators. However, it also is a host plant for quite a few species of butterflies, and happens to be the predominant source of food for one species in particular, and that is the Gulf fritillary. I'm probably mispronouncing that. Now, the fruit some people might be familiar with is often called passion fruit, and you can find passion fruit products in stores, juices. Sometimes you can look out and find actual passion fruit itself, but it's rare even around Florida. Now, this whole plant has traditions of being used medicinally. But it's interesting to note that modern herbalists, and most people who do a more Western style of herbalism, tend to stick with the leaves and the vine, especially these tendrils and the leaves. Whereas the Native American tradition focused more on the roots. Now, it has a long history in Native American use. The Cherokee tribes used the root to help draw out inflammation in thorn wounds. So wounds caused by thorns, either a little bit of stabbing or a cut. When they would get inflamed, the Cherokees would use the root to pull that inflammation out. They also made a tea from the root to use as a remedy for earache and to help wean infants. Now the Homa people would use the root as well, but they would infuse a tea from the root to use as a blood tonic or a blood cleanser. And all these uses for the root are at least slightly different from the uses that modern herbalists have for the leaves and tendrils and vine. Because most modern herbalists use this plant primarily to help with insomnia, because it has hypnotic properties, which when you're talking about herbal properties, hypnotic doesn't mean that it's going to hypnotize you, but it does mean that it's going to help you sleep. Though it's native to North America, the amazing medicinal value of this plant and the striking flowers have made it popular to grow worldwide, and it has found its way into use in traditional Chinese medicine, where it's used to help balance qi in the cases of an overload, as opposed to a blockage, and where it's known to help people who are the fiery type, especially when they're prone to cardiovascular issues. Now, some more uses that we have on this side of the world. This plant is not only helpful as a sleep aid, but it also helps to calm anxiety. It's an anti-anxiety herb, anxiolytic. Also has some mild pain relieving properties. And it does help to reduce some inflammation, but usually it's more useful to reduce inflammation in a formula as opposed to being used on its own. It also does have some properties that help it prevent herpes breakouts in people who have been struggling with herpes issues. And largely this is attributed to the fact that most herpes breakouts in most people tend to be anxiety induced. And the anti-anxiety properties of this plant are especially suited to prevent those breakouts. Now, Passiflora is also a great plant to help with spasms like muscle cramps, and in some cases even epileptic seizures, because it does have antispasmodic properties. However, there are other plants that are just a little bit better at that. So once again, it would work well in a formula where other plants and other herbs can help to bring out those properties a little bit more. It is safe to use for children who are having problems sleeping in smaller doses. However, there are words of caution for its use through pregnancy and breastfeeding. So just talk to your practitioners, your doctors, your herbalists, and make sure that it is safe to use if you want to try Passiflora if you're in that situation. Some interesting botanical notes about this plant. You can see the way the flower is structured. So we have all the petals and sepals, and then above that we have this structure right here, which has both the male and the female parts of the plant. So the stamens and pistils. But you see that little greenish yellow ball in the center? That is the ovary. Now these are considered to be bisexual flowers because they have both male and female parts. Now, when more than one flower is in bloom on these vines, you should be able to find flowers that are both completely effectively bisexual, meaning that both the male and female parts are viable, as well as flowers that are effectively male, meaning that the female parts are sterile, but the male parts are still viable. So thank you for joining me today. Once again, I'm Leanne from BatLadyHerbals. If you like what I do and would like to see more, feel free to check out my blog at BatLadyHerbals.com. You can also find me on Patreon and become a patron. In addition to these wonderful herb feature videos, I also have a few hiking trail videos on this channel, so feel free to browse around and see what you see. Now, if you want me to come over and help you explore your own backyard, see what nature has in store for you, and possibly see what you can use, feel free to email me about backyard tours. I also have a shop on Teespring where you can find all kinds of great designs to help promote herbalism and just getting out in nature and hiking here in Florida. So feel free to shop around on that. All these links are going to be down below. Now don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to be notified, hit that notification bell. And also, if you have any questions, comments, if you think my Latin needs some help, please feel free to comment down below and hopefully get some conversation started. And thank you for joining me again. Have a wonderful day.